So welcome to another In My Fields with my amazing co-host Noah Cyrus.
What's good with it?
And
How
the
you
amazing New York #1 bestseller, Anthony Williams, a.k.a. Medical Medium.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor. It's incredible. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. We both seen your work like tons of times. My favorite was whenever I saw you give Kanye a reading. But
Which is not an everyday occurrence.
He's like, I can do all this. It's like, he's so cool. But yeah, it's so nice to meet you. Lou has also told me that I should start drinking celery juice as well. So I'm excited to do this.
Got to get you on the celery juice.
Got to get me on the celery
juice. Yeah, of course. It's so good for you. My God, you can't pass that up.
Absolutely not.
What is it about celery juice that...
It goes to the brain is what it does. It's the most powerful electrolyte there is. You know how the whole electrolyte thing? It's electrolytes. Got to get my electrolytes. Everybody wants, everything with that. Well, that's what it is. It's like beyond that. It's beyond that. It's a complete electrolyte. It's
Throw
like
out the
everything.
Gatorade.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's true.
Yeah, can you
Throw out the
imagine?
Gatorade.
Can you imagine all this?
Celery.
Wait, I mean, have you spoken to the sports people about celery juice and replacing Gatorade?
Yeah, it's funny. They'd have to be juicing it fresh on the field. There'd have to be somebody there juicing it, pumping it out like that. And that could happen. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Absolutely.
I should talk to some sports people about it. Absolutely.
That's not bad. We actually have a sports scientist coming on soon.
Yeah, we've got the works.
Yeah, we do.
He's trying to get my mind right while I'm doing work. So this is like his way of like getting me healthy / having a
Absolutely.
podcast.
See, because we're kind of a wellness podcast in a sense, but kind of relating it to creativity and everything else, entertainment fields. And the presence for this podcast is in my fields. So all your thoughts, feelings, everything created on the inside creates your outside.
I have a lot of those.
That's cool.
I want to relate back to the celery juice and the healthy eating and stuff. Is it equally as important to have a healthy mind while consuming the healthy foods? Does that have any?
It matters. It does help, absolutely. But there's some miserable people out there, right?
Yeah.
There's some miserable. I mean, just the whole bit, right?
Yeah.
Someone has to. Everybody knows somebody that's totally like either grumpy all the time, bad attitude, miserable, never positive, right? Negative.
Hold up. Sorry, can we shut that door over there? Thank you. Sorry.
No worry.
Drill going on. I wanted to get into the podcast.
Yeah, but if they're eating good, they could feel good and still be miserable.
Yeah.
All right, and still be negative,
and
still be everything else. Their mind could be total just crap. I mean, literally, and whatever it is. But if they're really taking care of themselves, they're eating good and everything else, they're going to be healthy while being, miserable. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, you want your mind right because you want to live. You want to live at your best. I mean, when your mind's right, you're now living at your best in every way you can possibly be. So you want to be healthy minded. Spiritually connected. Anything you can do. I mean. Just going on a hike. I was talking to somebody the other day. They went on a hike. They came back. They're like, I'm transformed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Transformed from that hike.
Did they have the celery juice before?
They saw a hawk flying. Yeah. Exactly. They saw a hawk flying by.
Yeah.
Right? And they were just checking it out. They saw a deer. They saw a hawk fly by, everything. And they're just like, I'm transformed just from that alone, right?
Yeah.
Because we get so in our heads. I mean, look at the work everybody's doing. Everybody's working. Everybody's working so hard on everything. Their projects. I mean, Noah's like probably cranking out the music. It's like, there's a lot going on. So getting that mind right is,
But I think even when I am like doing a ton of music and I'm working really hard, Lou knows this as well. Like I tend to actually get in my feels and get depressed and get anxiety. But the one time that like right now I'm feeling great because I'm working out every day. I'm doing my best to like, eat really healthy. I actually made cake last night. That doesn't count. But like, I do my best to like, because the only time I actually feel right and feel like I can like create well, communicate well, is whenever I'm eating healthy and exercising every day. Like without going to the gym, like I wake up like so drowsy and like I don't know. There's just something about that completely opens your mind.
Yeah,
completely.
you're moving your blood, you're circulating toxins that are floating around in there. Because what happens is those toxins just build up, and they build up. They get into the brain, they sit inside the liver. Then your liver gets stagnant and sluggish, and then you're eating things you're not supposed to eat. Well, whatever. Someone might think they're supposed to eat things, and then so whatever. But you're eating things that may not be good for your liver. And then it's getting really sluggish. And then all of a sudden you're dragging, and you're just like dragging your butt. You wake up in the morning, you don't feel clear, you don't feel good, you get depressed for no reason, and all that just starts kicking in. And really, it's about moving those toxins through and everything. Celery juice is a big piece of it. It's why Spirit of Compassion brought celery juice to the world, because it helps people get all that going. It's part of it.
Let's elaborate on that, the spirit of compassion.
Yeah.
So medical medium, where does that come from?
Well, it comes from my great-grandfather named me the medical medium when I was a child. So that's when I got to receive the gift of hearing a voice perfectly clear that tells me what's going on with somebody's health. So anybody around, that's how it all started. Yeah. So then I dedicated my life doing this work the whole time, helping out thousands and tens of thousands of people over the decades. And then eventually, Spirit of Compassion said, you have to put this all in writing.
Yeah.
So then I published the books. Yeah. And that's what happened. The books are out there. Millions of people around the world have them. They're moving their lives forward. The celery juice is one of the tools, one of those hidden tools. And that's just, no one ever knew that this could really change the lives of so many people. Yeah. Millions right now around the world are healing from it. Yeah. They're healing diseases, illnesses, symptoms they couldn't have, it was unimaginable to get rid of. Yeah. Celery juice is part of that. And Spirit of Compassion, the voice I hear, because that's what the voice told me. It's the Spirit of Compassion. Yep. And that's what I've been doing my whole life, listening to that voice.
When you say you hear a voice, right? Does it come in as like clear words to you? Like, is it your mind that you're hearing? Or are you hearing another, like, male or female? Or how does that come across to you whenever you hear spirit?
I think you're the first person to ever ask that question in that way. Like, is it something you hear in your head? Yeah. Or is it something else? And it's from out here. So it's like, you hear me now clear, right? Yeah. I hear the same way from the Spirit of Compassion, from the voice. I hear it clear like you hear me right now.
Is it the same voice every time?
Same voice every time. And it can be blocked a little bit too, because it's coming into the right ear. So I could take my hand and just do this and kind of block it a little bit, because it's coming. It's real time. It's in real time right now. Anytime it's coming through. Yep. And that's how it works. So it's not in my head. It's not like I'm channeling. I'm not channeling anything. Or it's not my intuition, and I'm kind of thinking, what does my voice inside of me say? Or what does that child voice in myself say? Yeah. Or no, that's not it at all. It's a voice that's been basically torturing me since I was 4 years old. So there you go.
So you'd like be on a date and you say something wrong, and then the Spirit of Compassion is like, no. Not that.
Exactly. Always correcting me, always trying to keep me, making sure I say the right things, all of that, because what it is, it's about, I work for everybody. Mm-hmm. I work for everybody who's chronically ill. I work for people who are struggling with anxiety, crippling anxiety, and depression, exactly all these things. And
let's work together after this interview, please.
Hey, would love to. And aches and pains and all the fatigue and all the mystery fatigue. Do you know anybody who's mystery tired? Mm-hmm. They're like more tired than just tired.
Parents. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I haven't slept since 2005, so like I'm exhausted.
So we have to get you stronger. We have to get you stronger. We got to get that energy back. And so there's so many people dealing with all these things. They're going around, but we're all supposed to pretend it's normal. We're all supposed to pretend that it's a normal occurrence happening. Yeah. That we're supposed to be sick now. Everybody's supposed to have a symptom or something wrong with them. That's kind of how we're going. Like, it's the new normal. Oh, what do you got? You got a thyroid problem? Oh, whatever.
It actually is. It's scary, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Right? And so, but it's not supposed to be like that. And that's Spirit.
It's like a constant complaint of illnesses.
Exactly.
I mean, as complaints can be, but I guess we're conditioned to be negative as a race anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, if we were conditioned to be positive, then a negative situation comes in, we would kind of brush it off. Exactly. But now we brush off the positive situations because it doesn't feel right to us. Because it's not the normal feeling of it.
Exactly.
So celery juice. So, in terms of, is it the placebo effect? Is it the actual juice that's healing people, or is it people believing that this, or is it a mixture of both?
Well, when did placebo fix the world? I don't get it. Wouldn't everybody be better? Placebo worked. I mean, think about this. If placebo worked, they would have ingeniously science and research would have placeboed everybody out to get them better. They'd
true.
all be better. Yeah. Everybody would be better.
Yeah.
Because all you need is any kind of placebo. Tell somebody that this pill works. If it doesn't, they should be better.
Yeah.
It's a placebo.
Yeah.
But see, so placebo doesn't work. It never did.
Yeah.
If it did, I mean, I could hand you like a candy corn. Yeah. Okay, a little piece of candy and say, hey, like, you know what I mean? We can, it just, you can't get better on that.
Yeah.
Celery juice works.
If I believed it for a fact 100%, it would.
Well,
because my in terms of how I live my universe, if I believe things for fact, they shall appear.
Well, you know what? When you're bedridden, and you can't push out of bed, and your body's covered with eczema or psoriasis, and you're really sick, and there's no placebo that can fix that.
Yeah.
It just isn't. I don't care what doctor, whoever comes in and says, take this pill and it's a placebo, you're going to get out of bed. You're going to be able to function. You're going to get rid of that brain fog. And no, that brain fog stays no matter what's happening. That's the difference. When you're chronically sick, man, it's a whole nother story. And I've been batting for the chronically sick. That's the whole thing. I'm the messenger to kind of have their back because they've been swept under the carpet and kind of pushed aside for the decades. It's been unbelievable, right? What has happened and what's going on is science and research hasn't actually had the answers yet for people who are sick on that level. But celery juice, big difference what goes on. You know, it's hey, there's people who tried everything, done everything, every diet, every kind of lifestyle, every kind of supplement. They tried all kinds of modalities. They tried everything, right?
Yep.
And they're still stuck. But when they bring celery juice in, they're getting better. And those are people that were like skeptical about it.
Yep.
We're skeptical. I mean, I know people that are like, that's not going to work. Celery juice, I chew on celery. I have it in my tuna salad. Celery's not going to fix me. Yeah. And they're drinking the celery juice for 2 days, and they're negative about it. And they're like, oh, my God, my hip is getting better. What the hell is going on here? This is the freakiest thing ever. That's how it's working. And it's spreading. Amazing. It's spreading like wildfire. You got to remember something, you guys. There's no money behind it. Yeah. Celery juice isn't a trend because it was like backed by tons of money to make it trendy.
Yeah.
Celery juice is trendy because the stuff works. Yeah. It just does.
I think you've single-handedly pushed the price of celery up in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
You should come out with your own line of celery. Your own farm of celery. Yeah. And
is there a difference for you between, say, organic celery and kind of normal celery or celery or organic fruits in general?
Do you have to juice it? What if you just eat a celery?
You can eat it. It's good for you. It's not going to fix anything.
It's better juice it.
Yeah, it's not going to fix anything eaten.
Squeeze the shit out of it, juice it, drink it. Yeah. You're going to be better.
It never fixed anybody eating it. It just hasn't. But it's the juicing. It has to be juicing on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
That's, 16 ounces minimum on an empty stomach, 32 ounces. And you're moving forward. Wow. I mean, you're moving forward.
That's a lot of celery.
64 ounces.
Yeah.
If you really have something that's major going on with your health.
Is that every day?
Is it gross? Does it taste gross?
Sometimes it's like sweet and salty. Sometimes it's like just too astringent and like bitter or something.
I'm asking because I'm going to go home and start chugging celery juice. No joke. I need it.
The celery's been pretty good lately out here in LA. Okay. Like, it's pretty good. It hasn't been so astringent. It's been pretty good. Yeah. I think you're going to like it.
All right. I'm doing
the funniest thing is I've never eaten celery ever.
Me either.
I used to feel like it tastes like shit.
I hate celery, but if it's dipped in ranch, it's pretty
Noah,
good.
When you juice it, it actually tastes better than eating it.
Really?
It's the
Because I was
strangest thing
thinking
ever.
maybe I should put like an airborne packet in there or something to make it better.
It has like a sweet taste to it when you drink it. But yeah, when I eat it, listen, I have to like dip it in hummus or do some other shit to it. But
dips it in ranch.
Yeah,
like a chicken finger.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm like chicken fingers, like
pizza.
So, I thought you were gonna give me a reading and be like, I'm sensing some chicken fingers in here. I actually have a question. Okay, so it says you really discovered like that you had this amazing gift when you were 4.
Yeah, that's when it started at age 4.
With your grandmother.
Yep,
right?
Started there.
And you kept getting this feeling that she was sick with lung cancer, right?
I couldn't avoid it because the information came through all the time. So Spirit of Compassion would say, this is what she has going on. And you're 4 years old. You don't know what the words mean. Yeah. So you're trying to pronounce
My grandfather died at when I was 4 of
Wow.
lung cancer. So that's why
That is unbelievable.
yeah. So it's crazy. So that's why I wanted to ask you, like, when you got that, did they take her to the doctor?
Yeah, a
immediately?
few weeks later, because she was fine. She didn't have a symptom. There was no symptoms. She was perfectly fine. But it took about 3 weeks later, and took her in because I was saying it too much. And
So someone spoke to you about what your nan,
Spirit of compassion?
had.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
British,
Spirit
so-
of Compassion was telling me.
Oh my God.
Pronounced lung cancer.
Did you
So
name Spirit of compassion, or is that?
that came from the voice, Spirit of Compassion, when I asked so many questions. Are you an angel? Are you just someone? Are you a ghost? It's not a ghost. I'm not talking to you. You know, it's amazing till this day. It's funny. There's a whole group of people in the world that have healed from the medical medium information that know it's not a ghost. They know what the information is because it's advanced medical information ahead of science and research, right? So what happens, and doctors are using it all across this country and globally. They're using it. These books are all over doctors' offices, all around the world. But then there's a group of people that thinks I'm the celery juice guy that talks to a ghost. So it's actually.
I mean, on paper that sounds pretty amazing.
I mean, I like that one too. I think that's cool. That's cool. But the bottom line is, Spirit of Compassion. I got that from Spirit. I've once in a while I'll say Spirit to make it short, but every time I make it short like that, then somebody will be like, "Oh, you talked to a ghost."
Yeah.
But Spirit of Compassion is like, I've always told you it's Spirit of Compassion. Why are you saying Spirit? You're cutting me short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Absolutely. So you were how was you feeling? Could you remember your feelings at the time of when you heard this voice?
Oh yeah, it was shock.
Yeah.
It was shock. I mean, I always say the Spirit of Compassion. I always say, like, why me? Because I'm not really the most spiritual guy. I mean, I know people, they're really spiritually connected.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like on mountaintops. They're like praying. They're like 40-day fasting. They're breathing air and that's it. Like doing all kinds of things, right? Like, and they're in retreats around the globe and they're in the Amazon and they're just like, they just disappear and they come out and they're just coming out. They come out of the Amazon naked after like 2 weeks of being bitten by mosquitoes. They're like,
my God.
They're connected, right?
Naked and
different
afraid
ways.
vibes.
Yeah. They just do things like that, right? Me, it's not like that. And I always say to Spirit, well, how come me? And Spirit said, because you can handle it because it's really difficult. It's really difficult on a way because you don't live a normal life whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I mean a normal life. I mean, that's it. When it started happening, it was like, okay, look, I couldn't pursue anything else. Couldn't pursue a dream. Couldn't pursue anything else. Couldn't do anything. It had to be this only. There was no way out.
Wow.
And it takes a skin for this.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I have the skin for it, but apparently I might have it because I'm still here and I didn't jump ship.
No.
So it's
Does the Spirit of Compassion ever talk to you about, was it predetermined? You were supposed to, was this pre-birth, or is it of a spiritual nature, or did they say why they come to you, where they come from, what plane they live on?
I think it's the strongest that can handle, the strongest that survive it.
Yeah.
Because when I ask questions, a lot of that, it was given to others, but they didn't stay here long.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
The teenage time is the hardest when you're a teenager with it. That's when you lose it. That's when you lose your mind with this gift.
Yeah. Wow.
Because you want to like just be normal. You want to do normal things. You want to have fun. And you're hearing a voice telling you that someone's got a brain tumor. You hear a voice nonstop. You go into a crowd and then everybody in that crowd is being assessed by Spirit and information is flying in, coming in. If I get on a plane or something like that, everybody on that plane. I mean, I was on a plane one time and, my assistant was sitting with me because I have to go with an assistant because it's just too much with the readings and all of that. And so, I'm on the plane and there's all this commotion going on, this commotion.
From Spirit.
Well, actually, there's commotion going on the plane. Like stewardesses are running around. There's all this stuff happening. And Spirit tells me that somebody in the back is seizuring. So they're seizuring in the back.
Wow.
It's a guy back there that's seizuring and everything. So I tell my assistant. So finally everything calms down after about 20 minutes, half an hour or so. And then my assistant asks the stewardess, what's happening? And she goes, there's a man back there seizuring. And it's always there and I can't get away from it. And when I was a teenager, just think about that. That's a difficult time for everybody. when this is all you have to do, or all you're supposed to do, you can't get out of it. You can't get away from it. You got to be strong.
Yeah.
I mean, there was times where it was like, I'm not going on with this. I might jump ship. So, but you know what? I hung in there, and I think that's what predetermined it. It's like, okay, picking you can probably handle it for some reason.
Yeah.
Who knows what that reason is?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it went.
I mean, obviously the reason is this.
Yeah.
It's to spread the knowledge of health. So is it only the medical that the spirit of compassion speaks to you about?
It's the most important.
So if you was to say eat a pizza, it'd be like, nah, bro. Not today. Don't eat that.
Well, you know what? Of course, like small talk like that, is always there with spirit. Absolutely. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Spirit's never short for all that stuff.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But the medical is the most important, because if you don't feel good, if you can't like do your work, if you can't live your life, if you can't be happy in your relationship because you're sick, if you just got diagnosed with something and the doctor said, well, hey, your body's attacking itself because you got an autoimmune disease, which actually is incorrect. How it works, the body doesn't attack itself. But the point is, when you're driving from that doctor's office and you've been told you got something, you're miserable. You're in misery. It takes over.
Yeah.
So many people are like, oh my God, what is this now? I got like thyroid problems now? Or what do I have? I have this, and it's hard. So medical is the most important. And that's the whole point. It's your health. It's the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So in terms of, say, for example, can diet make, aid in anxiety and depression and all these type of aspects to the human, psyche?
Yeah.
Or does it have an adverse effect on it, should I say?
Well, diet plays a role in getting those things better.
Yeah.
But the problem is science and research doesn't know why or how someone can get better, or why food does work, doesn't work. We're still in those really early stages of understanding it. What's the cause of anxiety? Unknown.
Yeah.
It's unknown right now, right? That's what it is. Well, Spirit of Compassion knows the cause of anxiety. Mystery anxiety, the cause. I write it in the books. I put it in the books. The information is there. People have been able to heal it because they know the cause. That's what I've been able to do, is with this voice that comes to me, I've been able to bring that information forward, and it's never happened before.
Amazing.
It's never happened.
Yeah.
There's an actual cause to anxiety. There's actual cause for all these illnesses, for aches and pains, tingles and numbness, ringing in the ears, all of that. Everything from restless leg syndrome to neuropathy to headaches, migraines, they have no causes for all this.
Why do your ears ring? Mine do that sometimes. Like, is there something wrong with me?
Well, if your ears
honestly, if there is, please don't tell me, because I'm a really big hypochondriac, and I go to my cardiologist and have him take blood all the time, and he's always like, Noah, you've got to stop coming because you're okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm really crazy about that stuff. So don't tell me if something's wrong. But how come that does happen? What is that? It stops after a second.
Yeah, but that's different. That's like just little ear ringing that comes and goes once in a while.
Okay,
Noah,
done.
maybe that's your spirit of compassion, trying to get through. I've read up on that too.
I have.
Yeah.
I do have to say, like, for me, I think we've talked about this before. My dad is very spiritual, and as am I. So, like, different from you, my like feelings that I get are not like, so standing next to somebody and somebody will tell me what's going on in their lives. But like, I've definitely always had like a more spiritual connection where I've been able to, like, with being in my house or like things like that, or like I just have very strong connection with my grandfather, who I know for a fact that I like get these messages from.
You're connected.
I'm very connected. And my dad was very connected my whole life. And like, I think that's where I definitely get that from.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I think that's always been like, when I was a kid, I was actually like, I would get kind of freaked out because like I lived in a very like historical home in a historical part of Nashville where there was a Battle of Franklin, and all the energy is so actually heavy. I know that's like not your field of like vibes that you get, but that's just something that like I grew up with, was like I would be at home and I could like feel like, oh, my grandfather's like sending me like a message. What do you think about that? Do you believe in that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I could use spirit for that. I could use spirit for those things.
Oh, you can't.
Oh yeah, I mean I can, but it's never the most important when, and I'm not saying that's not important.
No, yeah,
that's important.
Yeah.
1000%.
But when a mom can't get out of bed to take care of her 3 children, and she loses her part-time job, and she's like, and she can't even barely walk or take a shower because that chronic fatigue hits her, and no one, nowhere can help her. 20 doctors, 10 neurologists, 10 cardiologists, everything, information on the internet can't help her.
Yep.
And that's the most important. So that's what the books have done. It's for millions that are in that condition. And that's why I have to keep on using that. So if I do take the time out and go the other direction spiritually, which I love to do, don't get me wrong, I love to do. And
have you used spirit to connect?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have for all those different things. Exactly. But once again, the need is unbelievable. There was a waiting list to talk to me back 6 years ago that was in the millions. That's how many people are sick. So I feel guilty if I do the more fun, spiritual, connected stuff. I feel guilty literally because there's so many children that are, oh my God, so many children are suffering and struggling.
Yeah.
And they have the worst conditions, meaning they're just literally, and their whole bodies are covered with eczema, and they can't even put a T-shirt on your son or your daughter because the eczema is taking over, and you have to just live at home, and you're going to doctor's offices every single day, like these kinds of things, like, and it's moms with anxiety that's so crippling they can't drive, and it's all these things that I have to be focused on and get that information. So when people tell me, they go talk to me about the spiritual connection about this, and tell me what's going on in the universe. Tell me to all of it. I can tap in without a doubt and ask spirit of compassion questions, but then I feel like, oh my God. There's the weight of the suffering, the struggling. And, when you feel good, like you guys feel good, and I feel good. And, when you feel good, you just don't know what's out there sometimes. Yeah. Until you run into a friend or something you haven't talked to in a while, and you're like, what happened to you? Yeah. What are you doing? What do you mean? But so that's why. But I love the spiritual connect. I love all of that. I love helping someone really get in touch with the people that have passed over, their loved ones in different ways, or what's happening in the moment. Like, is the ringing in their ears something? Yeah. A message coming through. What was that dream you had? The one that had so much meaning to it. Yeah.
I've totally had dreams.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned, that's why I looked right at you and said, what is that dream? It's like that dream is what I love. Going into those dreams and talking to spirit of compassion and be like, what does her dream mean? Because that is there's something there. Was it a past life? Was it something in the future that we don't know about? Was it something in the moment where it's about to happen? Or is it a direction where you're going to be focused on soon because of a passion inside of you? Is it healing a wound that you have from a few years ago from somebody? Is the dream about a wound that's healing because you had kind of a betrayal going on or something, some kind of trust was broken? And all of that's powerful stuff. Yeah. I love it. I want to dedicate time on it. I can't. Yeah. I can't. That's how it is.
It's funny because I had a dream recently, and I beat myself up for not remembering the detail of it. But I dreamed that I found the formula to see the other side while still being alive. Yeah. And I saw the formula on some paper, and we were running all these weird tests, like using human blood and shit like that. And then all of a sudden...
You would have that dream.
I would have that dream, right? And
you would have that dream.
And then literally, we did all those tests, and it went on for ages, and then there was just this paper, and it was just believing you could see the other side. But I couldn't remember what the formula was for it. Yeah. And I was like, shit! And it felt so real.
Yeah, yeah. And there's reasons for that. One thing you get connected to, you want to get connected to, is angels. You want to always focus about angels and focused on angels.
Because you believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in God. Absolutely. But hey,
high five for God.
But at the same time, if someone believes in the universe and that's what they believe in, and they don't believe in God, but it's the universe, I stand behind them. Yeah. If they believe in the light and there's some kind of light, if they believe in the creator, if they believe in nothing, that we're on this big rock and it's just a ball of gravel and it's floating through space, and then you live and you die, and that's what they believe in, look, I'm okay with that. I mean, I believe in God, but everybody, you got your choice of what you want to believe in. You got your choice on what exactly.
Have you asked Spirit about religion? Like if
oh my God,
something is
it's
like
been my pastime. My pastime is asking Spirit every question under the sun that isn't health related. I mean, when I'm on my time.
Yeah.
So I'm totally flatlined. I'm totally exhausted. Just finished the last book, and I'm laying down on the floor, and I'm just like, what more do you want out of me, Spirit? And I'd be like, hey, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to talk about other planets.
Yeah.
I want to talk about life on other planets.
Yeah.
I want to talk about like whatever it is, before the phone rings.
Yeah.
Or a text message comes through, or there's some emergency crisis over the years that have, people in need. But yeah.
Wow.
What do you think about life on other planets?
What do I think about it?
Yeah, what do you think? You think it has to be true, right? There has to be life on other planets.
It is true.
Come on, cause some controversy. Come on.
It is true.
Yeah, tell us what you know.
Let's get NASA up in here.
No, it is true, without a doubt. Of course there is.
Wow.
Yeah.
As we know it, or as something else.
I mean, seriously. The bottom line is, no. There's life on other planets, and it's as we know it too.
Yeah. Is the spirit of compassion
do you believe that?
1000%.
They can't handle the truth?
Yo, I think somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody was like, if I get elected as president, I will tell you if there are aliens. But I saw it.
What about everyone rushing Area 51?
Area 51.
Yeah.
That sounds scary. It sounds
I think
really
I'll just
scary.
watch from TV.
I'm going to watch the live stream.
It's not a fast rush. I mean, it's a lot of miles before you get to it. Even.
Yeah, a lot of barbed wire too.
The first fence is just the first fence. Then you got 300 miles? So it's not a quick rush.
What are your views on marijuana?
Ooh.
Look,
that was actually just my next question.
No way.
Yes.
It's our vibe.
In my fields.
The bottom line is with that, it's like that's one of those soul decisions.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a few things that are soul decisions. It's in the person's soul, and I don't have a place to say yay or nay or where I stand on it.
Yeah.
Because it's different than what's the cause of rheumatoid arthritis? What's the cause of multiple sclerosis?
Mm-hmm.
I have a stand. That's my place.
Yeah.
What's the cause of lupus? I have a stand. I have a place in that.
Yeah.
Spirit allows me to have that. Marijuana, totally up. It's a soul decision of somebody, whether they think they need it, don't need it, use it, don't use it. It's one of those.
Yeah. It's
kind of like abortion. It's a soul decision. I have no place to say you shouldn't get an abortion or you should get one. This is one of those. This is one of those epic soul decision places. It's like vaccinations. It's like, some people think it'll save the world. Some people think it kills the world. Some people think, you know what I mean? It's like marijuana is one of those. It's like this soul decision that I have no place to decide or actually give you even my opinion on it, because that's something that's like, that's something that's deeper within that you just can't touch and you can't play with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
would that be the same for alcohol? Or is that something completely different?
That's actually different.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go.
So too.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, I'm a marijuana smoker, so
Me too.
and CBD and all those type of products, and I feel like,
I'm
especially
sure.
the newer generation now, especially someone like myself, I don't really take medication. I don't really do any of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm about to have a daughter in October. So
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm the fairy godmother.
So vaccinations. What do we feel about those?
That's the same thing.
Same thing.
It's like the marijuana.
Yeah. Okay.
It's because what happens is there's people that they believe that without it the world will end.
Yeah.
And that's in the soul of the person.
Yeah.
And then there's people that believe, no, you stay away from it. It's the worst thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
And it's not just the decision that occurs. It's more than that. It's like something that you can't penetrate. It's part of who they are in a soul that decides that. You see what I mean?
Yep.
So it's it's like that. So I have no place there. Meaning, I mean,
Do you get vaccinations?
do I?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
don't-
he had no choice.
Like,
well,
well, like you can do follow-ups. I still get my flu shot.
You get a flu shot.
Yeah, because you know my dad, he'll freak out on me.
Okay.
My dad's all like, you need a flu shot
Okay.
all the time. You know my dad. He's like terrified of getting sick.
well, I haven't thought about it. I mean, I haven't thought about it. I've had no need for it. I haven't gotten any, so I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's my point.
but if you're thinking about it,
Yeah.
and you're really worried or something, that's when it clicks in. That soul decision clicks in. You
Yeah.
know, where you can research both sides. You can then decide whatever lands in that area. You know, that kind of thing. Like I've never had to worry about any health stuff because it's spirit compassion. So I'm the wrong person to ask that question. The
I'm
wrong
not a fan of
person.
flu
Do
season.
you
The wrong
partake
person.
in a little herb?
I don't. But I've.
What about a nice glass of red?
No, I don't.
Oh wow. Neither.
Neither. No.
I love that. Okay.
No, but that has nothing to do with someone else. You know.
No,
like,
I'm intrigued.
There's people that if they don't have that glass of red wine, I mean, they might have a stroke because of the amount of stress they're under.
Yeah.
That glass of red wine
It's the saving grace.
on the weekend,
Yeah.
you know, has probably saved a few lives.
Yeah.
Sure, used the wrong way, and it's probably ended a few lives
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bottom line, is, so you know, but I've never had any use for that.
That's awesome.
You're the coolest person I think I've ever met. It's like, you and Lou, come on, man. You're so cool.
Can I ask you? Is there anything you're reading right now, or is that an improper question?
Any good books am I reading? I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly.
And I mean, look, information has come through without
Yeah.
a doubt. I mean, for everybody here. So,
Do you want a reading, Noah?
Yeah, I'm scared. Oh
Well,
no, is it
well,
bad?
Well, actually, probably
remember,
not Noah
she's
then.
she's a hypochondriac.
You can do me then. No, don't
No,
do
you're
you.
not.
Is it
You
bad?
told me you're a
I am a
hypochondriac.
hypochondriac, but,
No,
but
let's
I'm down.
let's not do Noah.
I'm down.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I volunteer.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'd love to. If you do it, I'll do it.
Fine.
You sure?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
sure?
Wait, is it that bad? You're
No. We
right.
do a little fun thing. Well, usually what I don't do. Here's this is fun. This is good.
Yeah.
But I don't do big serious readings.
No.
Meaning the reason why is because there's millions of people waiting that are really sick.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so
100%.
but this is fun. This is just little stuff. Your adrenals, okay? You have to get those better. They are weakened.
My what?
Your adrenals.
Okay.
What's
Okay, so that's
that?
one thing.
That's-
Your adrenal glands, they sit on top of your kidneys. So you have to do some things for that. The celery juice is important for that all on its own. So you should be doing that. That's going to improve your adrenals automatically.
Okay.
But that's one focus we have to kind of catch now so that a few
Okay.
years down the road, they're not like giving out a little bit on you, and then you're really dragging.
Okay.
So that's one thing.
What
you gotta
affects-
focus on?
I can't even pronounce
yeah.
the word.
What am I doing wrong?
What is it? Is it diet? Is it what?
Well, you know. I mean, here's the thing. Like, there's times where you don't eat,
Yeah.
and there's times where you do. It's inconsistent with you.
Oh my God. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it is.
Well, Spirit knows.
so that's
okay,
100%.
Spirit knows.
That's
yeah.
why.
Yeah, well, that's part of it.
Oh.
Because what's happening is when you get inconsistent, your adrenals are flooding a lot. You run on adrenaline a lot more than you should be. And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
You're overusing your adrenaline storage because you're not eating consistently
Wow.
at consistent times. So you're burning out your adrenals.
Thank you, Spirit.
So
That's that studio life, Noah.
the other thing is you got a little bit of mercury
Uh-oh.
in here.
Oh, I eat a lot of sushi.
Well, you got a little bit of mercury in your brain.
So I'm mercury poisoning.
You got some mercury. It's not really like a poisoning or anything. It's not like that. You just got a lot of traces, and they're building up. Some is in your brain, some is in the liver. So we should get the heavy metals out. We should get the mercury out because that's going to start causing brain fog. It's going to start causing little short circuits. You're going to start getting more anxiety. We got to kind of nip that in the butt. Between the adrenals and the mercury, that's the two things with you.
That's it?
That's it for
Today.
the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so there
the-
is bad stuff.
No.
Oh my God.
No, he didn't say that. So celery juice.
To help the kidneys.
Yeah,
And then-
it'll help the adrenals.
And then what do I do to help the mercury issue?
Stop eating
Gotta
Stop
get-
sushi.
eating sushi?
got to get on spirulina,
Oh yes, we
Okay.
do. We have that, right?
right? Got to get on spirulina. You got to get on barley grass juice powder.
Yeah.
Got to get on that. Cilantro. You got to get those in there. Wild blueberries. You could do the frozen wild blueberries.
Is sushi bad for you?
Yes.
So I should stop eating sushi?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Your turn.
That was easy.
Your turn.
Oh, man. Hopeless case today. So no,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
No, you look good. Your liver getting stagnant and sluggish. It's running hot.
Yeah.
So you get a hot liver. So that's one thing going on that we have to be concerned about.
Yep.
Pancreas for you.
Okay.
That's another thing too. So down the road, I'm worried about diabetes for you.
Okay.
Even though you eat pretty healthy,
Yeah.
but I'm worried about a little bit of a A1C rising, type 2 diabetes,
Okay.
like hypoglycemia you had years ago. So you had a little blood sugar inconsistency.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
Did somebody tell you you had that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone,
Well,
what is it? My red blood cells are thicker than they should be, or something like
Yeah.
that.
So
the ibuprofen or whatever that's called.
So you've been in that zone.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So I got to kind of watch that. So when I'm doing a read, I'm taking a look, and I'm actually going partially blind right now. Good thing I wore the shades today. Okay, because when I do the readings,
Yeah.
this white light comes, and
Oh,
then I
wow.
get snow blindness, and now I'm going to be tripping all over the place for a little bit, a little while. But the bottom line is, I'm looking through your body. I don't see any diseases, so
Yeah.
to speak, or anything scary. I mean, I don't see anything that's someone would be afraid of.
Yeah.
But future diabetes,
Yep.
as far as pre-diabetes.
Okay.
Probably in about 7-8 years, you'll probably get a A1C going up, pre-diabetes diagnosis, and that's where you're going to be sitting, and you got blood sugar inconsistencies.
Absolutely.
Pancreas is with you, it's always been a little weakened on and off. You had food poisoning years ago, Spirit said. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember as far as Spirit told me about 2 minutes ago, so I'm asking again. So you had food poisoning. I think it was probably within the last 3 to 5 years. It was
Yeah.
in this pocket. That weakened your pancreas. So that's why I got to look out for you. And Noah, you're looking good. Don't worry.
I'm not worried.
Okay?
I'm not worried about you.
What? I'm good.
like making your doctor's
Yeah, but-
appointment for 7 and 8
but
years
I
ahead.
know what I have to do though. Like I'm a pretty healthy eater anyway, but I mean, my diet can be inconsistent. So I'll eat like healthy 6 days a week
Yeah.
and then eat shit
I'm taking us to the cardiologist
for like the
this
full
week.
day.
We're both getting our blood work done.
I actually
Okay.
have a medical on Thursday, so
I'm going with you. Freya and Charles.
I know the little baby.
I know. Does anything come in to you? Sorry, Charles. Does anything from Spirit say anything about Charles or the baby?
The baby's healthy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Baby's healthy. I'm so excited for this baby. It's insane.
I know.
I'm glad you're healthy, Freya.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much.
Really, I am. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, is Charles good?
Work. We need work done.
Uh-oh. There we go. It's probably the same as me. Welcome to the club.
We'll figure it out. We'll work on it.
I love it. So in terms of spirit compassion, I don't know if you've read like Seth Speaks or Abraham Hicks or any of these kind of spirit guide books. Are they part of the same teachings of the spirit world?
No, this is different.
Yeah.
This is different.
Okay.
And I have tremendous respect for that.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, the powerful work people have done in the spiritual world. It's been so helpful.
Yeah.
It's just been incredible help for people in so many ways. Life changing. This is entirely different. This is literally just advanced medical information, not discovered by research and science yet, to save countless lives on the planet, and that's what's coming through.
Wow.
It's an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just a messenger. I'm just the guy that's got to voice it out.
I love that. Well,
You're genuinely the coolest person I've ever met.
Hey, I wish.
No, like genuinely, like this has been the coolest.
welcome
I
to
don't
In My
know.
Fields,
I
Noah.
don't even know what could top this. This is so cool.
I love it.
Like I'm blown away.
I recently you posted something on eggs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and I got the crap kicked out of me on that one. There's so many people that love their eggs. We have an emotional connection to them. I mean, everybody has an emotional connection to them.
It's like milk, eggs, and bread.
Yeah,
it's like
and
the
it's
3 things that you buy consistently when you go to the supermarket.
And I wasn't trashing eggs. I was just saying that, look, if you feel good, just eat them. What it is that here's what happened years ago, decades and decades ago, okay? There were viruses and bacteria raised in labs.
Yep.
And in those labs, they had to feed the viruses and bacteria.
Yep.
Okay? And they did. And eggs was the food they fed them.
Yeah.
The chronic illness of today is from pathogens. It's from pathogens.
Yeah.
That's what it's from. You got the Lyme disease, you got the multiple sclerosis, you got the rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, you got the lupus, the chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. That's all I try to do as fast as I can. You don't know, I could ramble off others. But those are from viruses. And so we walk around with these bugs in us, like Epstein-Barr, the Epstein-Barr virus, and that's one of 60 varieties of Epstein-Barr. We walk around with that virus in us, and it creates fatigue, it creates problems, and then we feed it. We feed it eggs. It's not that I hate eggs. They're delicious. Everybody loves them. We have connections to them. Our parents make us eggs. Our mom makes us eggs, right? Who made you eggs? Did anybody make you eggs?
Yeah, me and the wife make eggs pretty much on the weekend.
Exactly, right? And there's a feeling with that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what about you, Noah? You don't like them?
You know what? It's weird. Actually, I like them, kinda. But there's something about them that kind of grosses me out at the same time. So, like, I'm very indifferent. It actually genuinely depends on the day. Like, since it's 100 degrees outside today, there's no way you'd catch me eating eggs in 100-degree weather. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it has to do with the weather. I swear to you, and everyone makes fun of me. Like, my best friend makes fun of me for it all the time. He'll like, let's go get breakfast. And I'm like, okay, but I can't eat eggs. It's hot outside. And whenever it's hot outside, eggs extremely gross me out. Yeah. But if it's not hot and like I don't know, it's something, I don't know what it is, but like it just depends on the day with me and eggs. Cause like,
I think I'm the same though.
Really?
I think that makes sense.
They kind of gross me out. My grandma used to have an obsession with egg whites, but then she'd like burn them kind of and they'd smell really bad and make the kitchen smell bad for a while. And I think that really like changed my mind on eggs for a second.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm indifferent about them.
Yeah.
Well, you're rare because so many people love them. And then what happened was those viruses somehow escaped the labs. Yeah. They got into people over the last 70, 80 years. We have chronic illness because of it, and eggs are feeding it. So it's not that I'm against them or anything. I'm just saying, look, if you want a fighting chance, if you got anything wrong with you, eczema, anything, psoriasis, anything, lichen sclerosis, if you have rosacea, anything.
I do. And eczema.
Yeah, well, that's actually toxic heavy metals involved in that. And then with all of that, you want to get rid of the eggs. You just do. There's a reason for this. So the bottom line is I took a lot of flack from that. Going against eggs, there was torches, pitchforks, I can imagine everything.
What about the what's your vibe on dairy then?
I mean, dairy does something similar. It does feed bugs. It does, but it's not the number one bug feeding food. If someone's worried about fungus, if they're worried about yeast, if they're worried about mold, if they're worried about bacteria, if they're worried about bad bacteria, whatever it is, don't eat an egg. You're just going to feed it. Yeah. That's all. I was just delivering the message kindly, nicely.
It's kind of like have you read the China study?
I haven't read it, but I hear there's good information in it.
Yeah. And he basically says the same thing. He feeds like rats and mice, eggs and dairy, and feeds the other set of mice and rats on plant-based foods. Yeah. And the ones who got fed the dairy and eggs developed more severe cancers and died prematurely than the ones who were fed on the other diet.
I think that's a plant-based book, right? Yeah. See, what happens is I'm neither war. I'm not in the food war.
Oh, it's actually, no, it's just a study. But there was a book after that from the writer of the China study that had a plant-based
I got you. I got you. You know, it's so funny because I stay out of the food war. You got the vegans angry at the paleo people. You got the paleo angry at the vegans. If you're a vegan, I feel so bad for vegans and plant-based people because all you have to do is sneeze and it's blamed on your diet. Yeah. If you're paleo, if you're keto, animal protein, whatever, you can sneeze, you can have an injury. I mean, you could have anything. You could have bad health. You could have a problem. You could be sick. no one blames your diet, but if you're plant-based, it's your diet. You know what I mean? So all these vegans are like, they're falling from grace, you know, and I feel bad for them because they get a sniffle and then they run back to animal protein. But the funny thing is, animal protein people are flipping too. Everybody's flip-flopping.
Yeah,
they're all going
100%.
here. Some people vegan, some back here. And what happens is they're confused, though. They don't know what causes illness. They're playing with food. They're playing guessing games with food mostly. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm just trying to let everybody know I don't have a belief system. I don't have a belief system that plant-based is going to save the world, and I don't have a belief system that animal protein is the best way to eat. Whatever it is, I don't have that. But what I do have is I will give you the cause of your illness and tell you what foods actually fix it. You choose what diet you want to sit on. That's fine. And that's the spirit of compassion. There's no belief systems here. It's about providing information so everybody's not confused.
Yeah.
Because it's a ball of confusion. You know what the thing is? All the keto people, all the paleo people, all the vegans, they're all still sick.
Yeah.
They're all still dealing with their eczema, their psoriasis, their aches and pains, their fatigue, their migraines. They're all still sick. Their acne. Acne's another one right there. So, you know, it's interesting.
Wow. Man, I love that. And go now.
Oh, I have a question. Like, because I don't drink milk, since we were on the topic of milk, because it hurts my stomach, but I can like eat.
Don't drink it.
I don't.
Don't drink it.
I don't.
It's
I
bad.
drink almond milk, oat milk. Does Spirit tell you if I'm actually lactose?
It's not about like lactose intolerance. It's about creating inflammation. So everybody has bad bacteria in their gut. So that's just feeding any bad bacteria in your gut.
Yeah.
And don't worry, that's not unusual. Everybody has it.
Yeah.
They have bad bacteria. It's just that when you drink your milk, you're feeding that bad bacteria. So
Yeah,
they,
I don't drink milk.
Yeah,
I
they
do
came
milk.
up with this whole thing of lactose intolerance. That's not what it is. It's you're feeding the bugs, and then the bugs are creating inflammation, and then you get your IBS.
Yeah.
Don't drink milk.
I don't. It's like
I used to.
it's my same thing with eggs. Grosses me out a little bit.
But you know, I could say to people, don't drink milk. Milk's bad for you. Milk will cause problems, right? I won't get any flack. When I say eggs, I mean literally I had to make sure I left town fast.
There goes our eggs and dairy sponsorship for the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no more ice cream.
Yeah. No more ice cream. No more ice cream. Ooh. What are your thoughts on CBD?
CBD, it's the same thing with the marijuana. It's really a choice.
Do or don't.
It's a choice. It's in the soul.
But do you think CBD does help anxiety?
I know better things that help anxiety. I'm not against CBD. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I know better things that help anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I've seen thousands and thousands of people heal their anxiety with the information from Spirit of Compassion. So I know better things.
Yeah.
But you know, and that's the thing. But am I against it for it? Either way, it's whatever the person wants to do. Because once again, that's something that's it's like diamond plated inside your soul.
Yeah.
Have you met other people around the world that talk to the spirit or your same spirit or not same spirit, or are there other people that have you come in contact with anybody?
I haven't. I mean, maybe someone's out there. Maybe they are. I remember I did a lecture many, many years ago. I think it was like, 15 years ago, maybe a little longer. And I did a lecture, and someone was out in the audience and says, I hear spirit too, the same voice. I was so happy. I was like, get up here.
Yeah.
Get up here, because it's like a bumblebee finding another, or something like a bird finding another bird. It's like, get up here. My God. And I get up there. And they're like, no, I hear this. I hear spirit too, and spirit tells me all these. I go, well, let's get some people up here.
Yeah.
Let's get it working.
Yeah.
Let me hear it. And in the end, it was just somebody that had a spiritual connection, and they heard a voice periodically inside their head.
Yeah.
And I have all respect for that. And I just pat on the back, like, you know, that's great. I'm really glad for that. But I was looking, to find somebody that hears it all the time, in real time, no matter what, and can read people on the spot. See, it doesn't matter if I'm totally trashed. I mean, like exhausted, like no sleep, writing all night. Like last night, I was writing the book all night. I had like 2 hours of sleep last night. So, and I'm tired. But the point is that it doesn't matter. Spirit's going to talk to me. See how it goes? Because psychics and mediums, once they're wasted and totally tapped out, they can't. The connection goes.
Yeah.
They're when they get burnt out. Literally, that's been one of the problems with this. Is I could be pushed to the limit, to the point of literally practically dying because of it. But spirit will still talk, because it's like your best friend still talking to you. Did you ever have a friend where she's your best friend or he's your best friend, but you just can't hear it right now?
Yeah.
Did you ever have
100%.
that? Where you're like, no, I'm tired, and your friend wants to talk and you're, well, guess what?
It's me when Lou wants to turn his phone off at 9 p.m.
Yeah, which I do.
So it always happens. I've never found somebody with that yet, and I've never found someone that knows advanced information ahead of science and research. They're getting it from here. So no, I've never seen it, but I'm hoping it happens, because you know what? I kind of want to be done and retire,
Pass
and I want
mantle.
somebody else to take it over. Let them take it over. Let them put the books out.
It's such a unique position. Has any doctors put a hit out on your head yet?
No, I'm friends with a lot of doctors. There's a lot of great doctors out there.
Yeah.
One great doctor, Dr. Alejandro Younger.
Yeah.
He did the foreword for the first medical medium book. He's a genius. He's a great doctor. There's a lot of amazing doctors I know over the years. I've troubleshooted for doctors. That's how I've been doing this all these years.
Yeah.
Doctors have been using me. They actually look for the information, because you know why? Doctors got compassion.
Yep.
They went into it originally because they don't want to see people suffer. So a lot of doctors, they kind of like break that ego thing, and they say, I want to hear what he has to say. I want to know what he has to say.
Yep.
So there's a lot of great doctors out there.
Do you teach nutrition? Because I feel like whenever I go into like a hospital or a doctor's surgery, or nutrition is so far removed from any of the diagnosis of any illnesses. I mean, that's just my interpretation of it. Other people may be different, but I feel like they don't have enough knowledge in nutrition.
Well, you could see it. Like there's articles.
Yeah.
There's articles on me all the time out there.
Yeah.
They're like writing dozens of articles out there, and it's actually really funny, because they write these articles. They never have any of the information right about the medical medium, which is funny. That always makes me laugh. But that's not
We
it.
have that in common.
Then a dietitian will come on, which I know some great dietitians, but a dietitian will come on and not even realize celery is an herb.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there ripping apart the celery juice movement, saying it's placebo, saying it doesn't work, right? They're saying all these things. And then they're calling it a vegetable when it's an actual herb. And it's just like, oh my God. And they haven't dealt with the chronically ill recovering from diseases using celery juice. So they're just complete. So yeah, nutritionists, dietitians, I have total respect for them. People in the health field movement, all of it, health professionals, respect for everybody. But realize there are some things that are actually fixing people now.
Yeah.
By the millions. Celery's one of them.
Amazing. Amazing. What you said you're writing a new book?
Yeah, writing one now. I haven't let anybody know what it's about. I just came out with the celery juice book, Medical Medium Celery Juice. People should check that out. I have hundreds of conditions, illnesses, symptoms in there, and I talk about what causes it and how celery juice helps it. It's a really great book.
Yeah.
But also, I just did Liver Rescue, so a book called Liver Rescue.
I saw that
right
one.
before that.
Yep.
So I mean, back to back these books. I'm finishing up one right now.
Is that the one with the beet on the cover?
It's the one with the apple on the cover.
Apple. Which is the one with the beet?
Yeah, no beet on the cover of my books.
Hang on, which one did I see? It's funny because I had we made some beet and carrot juice, and I feel like I've been like urinating it out for like 3 days, and as well as many other things. Is beet's same property as celery in terms of the health it does for us?
Well, beets don't do a lot for us.
Yeah. Oh wow. There we go. Apart from turn our stools red.
I mean, they're healthy.
Yeah.
It's a healthy food.
Yeah.
But it hasn't changed anybody's life.
Okay.
See, Lou, the difference is unbelievable. And now I have to sit here and I have to
No more
convince
beet
you.
juice.
Now I got to convince you, Lou. Lou, here's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's juiced carrots before. Everybody's juiced beets before.
Yeah.
Everybody's juiced everything before. No one's recovered from literally death-defying illnesses because of it. But celery juice has.
Okay.
This is an entirely different thing. This is.
I'm sold. I mean, we have it like 4 or 5 times a week. Not quite 16 ounces though.
Yeah, you got to
maybe half of that.
You should be on 32 ounces
Jesus.
every single day. You do that for 60 days, and you will never go off of it again. Because when you go off of it, you'll be like, "Oh my God, what the hell was I doing?"
Leave the beat
That's it.
making to me. I'll make
That's true.
I'll make
That's
the
true.
beats, and you drink your celery juice, and I'll drink my celery juice while I'm in with London on the
There
track
we
making
go.
our beats. And you
We'll
start
have
drinking
to put
celery juice.
the celery juice in your next video.
Yeah, I'm gonna be singing lonely and
Yeah.
pressing celery
Celery
into
juice.
a juicer.
Yeah. Put a little tag at the bottom saying medical medium.
Done.
We have to have you in a music video one day.
Give me some
We
credit.
do. We
Give me
should.
a little credit. I'll take it because the spirit will love you for it.
Oh my God, I love it.
Wow. Well, I mean, this has been incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I want to thank Music Studios, you, and Anthony, Medical Medium, obviously my co-host Noah, and everyone here. This was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you and your time. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm honored. Best day ever right now. This
Best
is
day
incredible.
ever.
That's right. That's right.
Best day ever. Thank you.
All right.